Metatrader 4 Basics. Once you install your Metatrader 4 platform on a PC, it's going to look something similar to this by default. We have a lot of things over here, and now we need to figure out what things we should be using and how to improve the quality of your Metatrader 4 platform. So over here we have that market watch window. Here you will see all available instruments to trade that your broker allow you. And as you can see here right now, since this is just fresh installed MT4, you see only 2 symbols. Sometimes you will have more, sometimes less, but overall, right clicking here and clicking on the symbols will give you the option to add much more instruments. So let's say I want to add few more pairs, doesn't really matter which pairs. We click here and it's going to list us the instruments that we are planning to trade. Also, if you want to see all available instruments, you would right click and click show all. And right now you have a lot more options in terms of what you can actually trade with your broker. I don't think you need all that, but for now, let's leave it like this. If you don't want to see this window over here, just click on this button over here, let's say Market Watch, or press Ctrl M. Now, the next thing that we see is that navigator windows. Over here, you will see all available indicators and expert advisors, so algos, currently installed on your Metatrader 4 platform. Also, you have the scripts here. If you want to add any indicator on the chart, let's say you want this alligator indicator, we just drag it to the chart where we want to add that indicator and click OK. And now we got that alligator indicator showing on the chart. If you want to remove something from the chart, right click on the chart, click indicator list. Let's say we want to remove alligator and all other indicators, we just remove them and click close. It's going to remove it right away. So let's try once more time with any indicator. Just drag it to the chart, click OK. And also the part is interesting that you should check usually would be this input part. It's always going to give you that configuration part for each indicator. Now, we won't use most of the indicators that come pre-installed since we have our own, but overall, it's nice to get familiar with what MT4 have to offer. For the expert advisors, it's going to be exactly the same thing. Like just drag it to the chart, click, check the inputs, click OK. But I really don't think that you should be using the 2 pre-installed expert advisor. I never had any luck with them. Also, you will have your all accounts listed over here. That's not that important right now. If you want to remove this navigator, close it, and you want it open, you can just click here on the navigator icon or click Ctrl plus N and it's going to appear again. Now over here we have a lot of stuff, but a lot of this stuff you really don't need. If you want to customize, this part, you can just right click and go to the customize option. So we don't need this register for a signal for sure. We don't need this. We don't need MetaTrader editor. Strategy tester, we don't need it. Terminal, we need. A new order can be useful, but you can skip it for now. As you can place the new order with a lot of different ways. After that, let's see what market watch we need. Data windows we don't need. So I'll leave it. I want to explain you what it does. Navigator, terminal, so we need this. New chart profiles, I always like to have them here. After that, right click here. As you see, we have a few separators like here. So this is done from 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. You can remove entire part like right clicking and let's say click on standard is going to remove this first part. After we have charts and things like that. But we need to customize other parts. So we right click around that second option, go to the customize. You technically speaking don't need this part of bar charts, candlestick, line charts. Like I really never use line charts. I probably would leave only candlestick. Zoom in, zoom out, I like to have it. Auto scroll, chart shift, I like to have. Then indicators, period, templates, I like to have them over here. So close that third part. Here, I don't want to remove anything from here, but I want to add one thing because you will be using that part. I want to add Fibonacci time zones and I want to add Fibonacci expansion. Also, what you can add easily would be rectangles and ellipse tool. I'll explain what they do in a second. But I like to have more drawing option for me. After that, we have that customization part for that final part. It's only to give you a different time frame. I really don't trade 30-minute charts, so I can skip that part. I can remove monthly and weeklies since I don't use them much, but let's leave them for now. So if we go over here, we want to add a new chart. We can always click here, click to the Euro USD, and it's going to load us a new chart with the default template. Now you can change the template, play with that, and we'll go over that in a second. After that, you have profiles. So it's like a different workspace. So if you have a few people that want to trade from a same Metatrader 4 terminal and everyone want to have their own layouts saved, because it's going to usually two traders want to have a same taste of the setups, you can have a few setups over here. This part comes with a few pre-installed templates. I really didn't find them useful at all, but it'll give you a clue how to do it. But let's say if you've done something you like you want to trade only these 3 pairs, and you set up everything, and you want to save your template, like let's call it just ND10X, doesn't really matter for now. So every time someone change it, you get back to that ND10X, and it's always going to load what you want. After that, we said us market watch will give you all the available instruments. Then a data window is going to display all data. If you really want to pay attention on, let's say, if you point over here with your mouse, it's going to tell you the date, the time, open, high, low, close, and the volume information. Also, if you have some indicator on the chart, let's add something, doesn't really matter. You will get the reading of that indicator at the moment where you put your mouse. So right here would be 0.0057. So if you like that information, you can have that data window open. I really never found any great use, and a little bit the numbers are too small for my taste. And now here we have the terminal. You can access that part with the Control T. And here is going to be everything related to your trading. So all running trades would be shown over here. These demo accounts, we can definitely add a few dummy trades. Doesn't really matter. Let's add a few trades. So over here in the trade, you will see all the trades that are currently running. If you want to close the trade, you can click here to close the trade, or you can right click and click close order. First time you will get prompted this one-click trading. You just accept, click OK, then right click, click close, and it's going to close the orders. Let's close this also. Then we go to the account history, and it's going to tell you information on all the trades that you done today or from the day you start trading. If you want to see all history, you would right click, click all history, or you can say a custom period and select the history period that you want to analyze. Also, the good part about the MT4 is that you can save that report in two ways, like a simple report or a detailed report. Let's call it save. And if you see over here, this is what you are going to get. Like, it's going to say it in a nice format and give you all important information that you need to know. I'm going to go into details right now on that part. And if you have the news, I really don't see them as useful thing. And as you can see in the options, I like to have them disabled, just because I think you can find the much better news and faster with other tools. So I never found this part useful because it's usually a delayed part with the most brokers. We have alerts. If you set some alerts on the chart, and you can do that, but right clicking where you want to create alert, right click trading, go to alert. If you set up this, if price get to this level, you will get alert. Also, you will see all available alerts here, so you can remove them or turn them off. However, all other parts you really don't need to check. Mailbox, you will never receive anything. Market, it's MetaTrader for, let's say, App Store, like you have the App Store on your iOS or Android device. Signals, my opinion, waste of time. Articles, it's just their blog code base, you really don't need. Expert tab and the journal tabs are parts that maybe you will need. If there is any error with your indicator or your position, you will see them in one of these two tabs. So if in any time you find any issue with your MetaTrader 4, just check your Experts tab or a Journal tab, and you will find the error. I mean, you can always search that error and fix that instantly. Now, over here, if you want to, let's say, change how this looks, because it doesn't look great. First of all, I don't like to have a grid, so I would right click on the chart and uncheck the grid, or I can press Ctrl G and it's going to turn it on or off. Then if I want to customize more this part, I can go to the properties and I can use either one of the three pre-default template that MetaTrader 4 created, or you can customize it over here. Let's see if I bar down, I want a different color so I can easily see. Then a bull candle, that would be the body of that up candle, and the bear candle. So if I want it like that, and I like how this look, I can just right click, go to the templates, save the template, call it a default, replace it with the existing one, and every time I open the new chart, it's going to load that template. This part I really like about the MT4, since you can customize more or less everything. Then over here, since a lot of people like to have a little bit more room compared to, so they can better project their targets, you can just turn on this shift and so you get a little bit more room to work out. Now, if you try to scroll back, you will get something like this. Market will always return to the current bar. That's because this part is turned on. So if you click here and disable, you can go back to the history. If you want to return to the beginning, just click here again and it's going to return. Also, you can move this small arrow to the left or to the right, and you can select how you want it. Also, the part of saving the template work with all the indicators. So let's say we want, doesn't really matter which indicator, we want one indicator to be available on all the charts. We would save the template, again default, and every time we open the chart, it's going to give us exactly the same template with all the same tools. Now, here you can select the indicators time zone. So you, technically speaking, don't need this bar, but for me, for some reason, I'm more used to change the time frames like this compared to going here, but whatever you guys prefer. Also, the part that you probably want to know the most would be how to open the trade. Because there are a lot of ways. You can right click, go to the trading, and go to the new order, where you can specify the size in the lot size. If you want half a lot, you type 0.50, and then select your stop loss, take profit level, and that would be if you want to trade right away. So buy at the current market price or sell at the current market price. If you want a pending order, you would get that option of selecting buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, sell stop, and just add that price over here. At the end, let's do one market order. So let's try to buy, and let's use the 79.48 as our stop loss. Let's go 79.48. And we can see that right now we have the stop loss over here. If you want a quick take profit, you would click over here and drag it higher in this case. This part would also work if you don't have anything here. So we have a sell here, and let's say we want to put the stop loss over here. So we would drag to the upside, and it's automatically going to the tag that should be the stop loss, and we move to the downside and create a take profit. If you want to change anything, you can right click, modify or close the trade. If you want to, let's say, close the half of the trade, go to the market execution. Now we know that we opened the trade with the 0.50 loss. So if you want to close half, you type 0.25 here and close that part. And right now you see over here, you say that we only have 0.25. Let's try that again, close a little bit more. Modify the trades. Here from type, go to the market execution, and let's close 0.10 lots and close it. So we are left with 0.15%, so 0.15 lots in that long trade. Here is the part that I like the most, and that would be that drawing part, especially since I'm a technical trader. So the tool that I use the most would probably be the trend line. So just click here, click your starting point and draw. The first time it's going to look maybe different than what you've seen on my charts and my video. So right click on the trend line, click the trend line properties, go to the parameters and uncheck this array option. So now if we remove this and we click again to the trend line, you will see it much nicer. You can double click on the trend line or any other object, right click to the trend line properties and make this any color or style that you want. If you want to remove something, you can just right click delete, or go to the right click on the chart, go to the object list, and you will see all the drawings here. So you can delete it from here. After that, you have that horizontal line. Again, same principle, guys. You can right click properties and change the style so it met what you want to do. After that, you have a channel. Now the channel, again, need to be slightly improved without unchecking the array part. Let's go and change the color right now. Let's remove this and draw it again. So you're drawing it like a trend line, and after it you can double click and then move this line the way you want. Also, it's really nice to know that MT4 will always use your less configured file. So let's say we want to draw another channel, doesn't really matter. It's always going to use the settings from the last time. So if you want to change it to, let's say, red, and you want the next time you draw, it's going to give you again red. So that part is really nice to know. Also, it works exactly the same for everything, guys. Then you have a Fibonacci retracement. You have a lot of levels. Now, by default, you don't get that 78.6%. So we double click on the Fibo, right click, go to the Fibo properties. Then you have the style. This is the style of the line that you see here. And you have that fib levels. If you don't like them to be yellow, you want them, let's say, to be white, you click here. Also, you can add or remove any level that you want. So if you click add, we want to add that 78.6%. So we type 0.786, and in the description, we go with 786. So we click OK. And now if we remove it, every time we draw the Fibonacci retracement, we are going to get a 78.6% level there. Also, you remember that we added another Fibo option, that's Fibo expansion. You could do exactly the same thing. Double click, change anything that you want here, add or remove the levels. Like we want 127.2 level. This would be 1.272. And we can type FE 1272. Okay. So we added that level. And again, if you remove it every time you draw, you will get that level over and over again until you decide you don't need them and remove it manually. Let's remove this. If you want to have a few things selected, you can right click, delete all selected, and it's going to remove everything. If you want to write something on the chart, you can go here with the text, draw a text tool. So you want to say this is maybe starting point. Let's add a color. So if this is our starting point, it's always going to stay like here. Now, after that, we have a draw text label. There is a big difference. The text label is kind of a text that won't move, and it's always going to have a fixed position. So if I want to have here for myself that this is Canadian dollar yen, and I want a little bit larger, it doesn't really matter, and I want it to be fixed over here, I'll use this option like draw text label, while for everything else I would use just a draw text box, and draw text box will move. After that, you have option like drawing ellipse, and it's same like drawing anything. So just drawing can be useful for your trading, or just to get you that idea of to mark for yourself where you enter the trade. And also you have rectangle, so just draw it like this. Also for everything you can customize however you want. Also the good thing and the good trick to remember is that, let's say you want to draw this on the M5, but you don't want it to show on any other time frame. You would go to the third tab, uncheck this part, and check it on which time frame you want it to be seen. So let's say we want M5, M1, and click OK. So if we go to the M1, we will see this part, but if we go to the M15, we don't see the channel. And this part works for everything. So for every single thing, show on all. If you go on the 15-minute or higher, it's not going to appear. Now, if you go to the indicator properties, you can exactly do the same thing. So if you go on the higher time frame, you won't see the indicator. And this part can be handy to a lot of people. The next part that we need to look would be to go to the file and go to the open data folder. And here is where you are going to access everything that you need related to your Metatrader 4. This is the place where you are going to see all your available tools. So inside of the MQL4 folder, you have the indicators experts. So if you go to the experts, we have that 2 EAs that I told you that you don't need, so you can remove them. And now, when you remove something, you should go to the navigator box, go to the refresh, right click refresh, and you won't see anything. So if you add something and you don't see it here, just right click and click refresh. Now the same thing would apply if you would like to install something. Let me just find something. Let's go to manual installation of the indicators, or Expert Advisor is always the same. So file, open data folder, go to the MQL4. Let's go to the indicators. Well, let's say I want to install one of our indicators. Let's go to this 10x background. So I will just move it to the indicator folder. And after I'm done with that, I wanted to see it here. So right click, refresh, and it's going to appear over here. If I want to add that indicator, it's going to look like that. We are going to show next how to install all our tools and how to set up your workspace in the next video. If you have any question about the MT4, please let me know.